a good Sunday afternoon, everybody. Chris McDonald with you on a very, very special breaking. It's not special in a good way at all. We are grateful to have you today on this Sunday afternoon. We normally never come on a news show on a Sunday. Sunday's our faith day. But as some of you know, if not all of you, about 1:30 this afternoon, there has been a second attempt on President Trump's life, and we're going to talk to some folks about this for a few minutes. We got Eric Karen on first. Let me just say this about the chat room. Please keep your comments to a minimum right now. We're going to take your thoughts on this at the end, and we thank you for joining us this afternoon so short. We've got the X audience, the YouTube audience on our news side, and then we've got Facebook and so forth. We will take your thoughts and comments here. We're not going to be on very long today because we've got our Sunday night fellowship coming up here at 6. It may be a few minutes late, but we'll be back with Faith after this. Eric, Karen, it's good to see you, buddy. Listen, I cannot thank you enough for joining me. I know it's short notice, and your thoughts on all this, man. There's rumblings that this could possibly be Iran. We don't know whether it is or not. There's been rumors that first attempt was them. What is your thoughts? But on more domestic issue, you're a security person, man. How in the living you know what does an AK-47, a guy with an AK-47, breach a area on a golf course? Because I should have said that to the public. It was at President Trump's golf course this afternoon where this happened. He was on the 5th hole. My goodness, Eric, are these the Keystone Cops? I mean, I'm not trying to second guess the Secret Service, but I swear it just makes you wonder what's going on. That are they not seeing this stuff? Are these people that good? Or what have we got here, man? This is number 2. This is the second time this has happened, brother, in as many months.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct, Chris. We deserve better. The president deserves better protection. Obviously, he did not get it the first time a month or two ago. There were errors made. As you know, Chris, I worked with Secret Service and I've done protection assignments with them as an agent for several years. My expertise, and just to be transparent, my expertise is international crime. That's where I spent most of my time as a special agent. But I worked with Secret Service, and I've been to their academy. I did small package training with them for the Commissioner of Customs at the time, U.S. Customs at the time. So I know a little bit about protection. And so here we go again. The second attempt. I mean, the first was, in my opinion, came down to resources, the lack of resources, the whole DEI approach to security, hiring more females, and not to say that females aren't qualified, but where the vetting process, in my opinion, has been laxed over the last couple of years, and so there are multiple threats that protectees face, both domestically as well as internationally. We don't know the details yet on this attempt, Chris, but it appears, in my opinion, it appears to be a lone wolf again. I don't know if he was influenced by any foreign government. That will come out. But you're right. If he was on the golf course, how did he get in?
Right.
Because there is a layer approach to security, as I'm sure many of you, your audience, because you've got the best audience in the world, many of them understand security. It's all about the layer approach. First layer, second layer, third layer, fourth layer, fifth layer. How did this person get through that first layer, meaning to the gate, through the gate? He got to the gate. How did he get through the gate? And how many people allowed this individual to get onto the golf course? And were the bags, was his bags checked? Did he come in as disguised as a golfer? Did he come in disguised as a worker, a restaurant help? So that's all going to come out. But yes, we all should be concerned. This is a second attempt on the former president's life. And thank God the Secret Service did not allow the threat to get close enough. I don't believe the threat was near the former president. So that's a good thing, keeping the threat as far away as you can from the protectee.
Right.
But as you know and I know, bullets of that caliber can travel a good distance. And as we know from the first attempt,
right, exactly,
10 yards, 20 yards, 50 yards away, someone with a little training it can be fairly accurate with a long with a rifle. So the good news, it didn't. Trump is safe tonight. The bad news is there's another failure. So anytime, and I know very little like you right now as to what happened today. But anytime there's an attempt, always, Chris, take this to the bank. There's been a lapse in security. Someone dropped the ball. It could have been the local police officer at the gate. It could have been a Secret Service agent. It could be another agent from a supporting agency, whoever. But anytime there's an attempt, there's an issue. There's something went wrong in the security, if you will, plan. So there certainly was a problem today that an individual got that close to him with a high power weapon. So that's all going to come out.
Yep.
So the good news, he's alive and safe. The bad news is, once again, the bad guy got too close.
Absolutely, but and again, we're not going to keep you long. It's Sunday. I'll get you back on for a longer interview in a week or so. But I do want to ask you a question about the weapon, the AK-47. Just so our audience knows, that is a high power. Is that an automatic? I'm not good with guns. I don't know all this gun stuff as well as you do. The AK-47 it's a killing machine, pretty much, isn't it?
It is absolutely. The magazine. 20 to 30 rounds. I don't know off the top of my pea brain, but yeah, it could go automatic, the AK-47. It's not. It could have been a very bad day once again for Donald Trump and for the people around him, because yes, rapid fire and it can be at long distance.
Right.
We're talking 20 to 30, 40 yards away, that an AK-47, somebody with a little training could hit a target.
Somebody just chimed in and said it's not a high-power rifle. I would tend to disagree with that. Would you not, Eric? For God's sake, this thing, AK-47 is a little bit more. It's a little bit more than a little handgun, is it not?
Yes, of course. Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Got a question for you. In the event that Iran is found to be behind this as a government, and we'll let you wrap it up on this, what should we do? Is this not an act of war? That's 2 times, buddy, that there's a possibility these folks have put gunmen in place to shoot President Trump. And do you think the Biden-Harris administration will even care? Will they even do anything? Because, look, they're trying to knock off a presidential candidate, brother. This is freaking communist China, Russia, is it not?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. First of all, if there's a foreign government behind it, be it whoever it may be, Russia, China, Iran, or any other government, the U.S. government needs to retaliate immediately. We can't allow this to happen. And these foreign governments need to understand that there's ramifications to attempting to assassinate the leader of the free world. I don't think this current administration has what it takes to respond in a serious matter. But we'll see if it comes back to a linkage at all to a foreign government. Right now, I don't know. We don't know. But if there is a linkage, then yes, the U.S. government needs to take immediate action against a foreign government who would attempt to assassinate the president of the most, I would say the most powerful nation
Absolutely,
on the earth.
Well, my friend, listen, I want you to hang loose over the next week or so. I've got a conference coming up, and we're going to have we'll have a show. We'll have shows next week, and I may holler at you. We may do a late show together to pick this up, maybe first of the week. But listen, thank you. I know it's Sunday, and I hated to even ask you, but you have.
No, it's okay.
Thank you. I appreciate you coming on. And we're going to have that clam chowder up in New England in about a month, okay? God bless you, friend.
You got it, bro, and stay switched on. And for those who are interested to learn more about me, they can go to switchedonlife.com and
absolutely
get the book and other materials that are there. But thanks for having me, and God bless you, and God bless all our friends and family members, and especially those who are working today to keep the president safe.
Absolutely.
Those agents are putting their lives on the line, and we owe them a debt of gratitude that they will sacrifice their life. Like most police officers, they stand in the gap between good and evil, and we need to start appreciating them more. And under this administration, they're demonizing the police.
Absolutely, buddy. Absolutely.
Most people do not want to put on the uniform, and that's why the Secret Service is having a hard time recruiting good, qualified candidates.
That's a great point. We're going to talk about more of that maybe next week or the week after, buddy. God bless you, Eric. Have a great weekend, man. God bless, friend. Thanks.
Take care, buddy.
You too, Eric. Eric here, and everybody. What a good guy right there. We got another guy who is another great guy right here, and let me get a hold of him right now, and we're going to have Brian Warren coming on. Brian's in security, and we're going to talk about him. Hold your questions. Hold your questions just for a few minutes. Brian Warren, how are you, buddy? You're on live right now. How are you, sir?
Hey, Chris. How are you doing?
I'm good to have you. I'm sorry to get you out of your Sunday afternoon rest time, but I thought of you, and I said maybe we need to get old Brian Warren on today to talk about the security. You're down there in that, not close to there, but somewhat close. I know you've heard the news about President Trump being, the attempted assassination. What's your thoughts on this, Brian? And also, you're a security person. This guy had an AK-47 and got within the parameter of the golf club. Tell us a little bit about that. That's a pretty high-powered weapon, is it not?
It is. Before I start this, can you pray quick?
What's that?
Do you mind if I pray real quick?
You not a bit. You go ahead and pray, buddy. Absolutely. Go ahead and pray.
Father, in the name of Jesus, Father, thank you, Lord, for my brother. Thank you for Chris. Lord, but also thank you for the protection and the Secret Service and all the good guys around President Trump right now. Lord, I pray for his absolute protection and safety. Not just that, the safety of our nation, all the things going on right now. Lord, I just pray a hedge of protection around all of us. And I just thank you for this opportunity to speak and give my wisdom and insight on what I do. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Tell us about this weapon, the AK-47. We got about 10 minutes. We're going to, each guest we got 10 minutes, but talk about the weapon. The weapon is, he was on the fifth hole of the golf course. The guy stuck the muzzle, from what I understand, through the fence, started shooting. There were shots fired, and of course the Secret Service responded and found him on I-95 going north and took him out, or not took him out, but arrested him. But Brian, you're in security. And we're not here to demonize Secret Service this afternoon. We understand it's not an easy job, but it is the second attempt on President Trump's life, and it beggars the question, how does a person with a gun not be detected getting that close to the president on the fifth hole of a golf course?
Yeah, see, that's the question we all going to be asking right now. With that type of technology and what they have right now, the weaponry out there, there are, there's things that I'm sure the Secret Service have detect guns from long range. So the outside perimeter is an important thing, right? Obviously, from the first attempt that they had, not too long ago. That, Chris, we can get into all kinds of conspiracy theories and things like that, but what I'm wondering is, who's the people on his team right now that are the closest to him?
Yes.
And this is their job. This is what they do for a living. It really just is disturbing. It's actually, it infuriates me that they're able to even get a shot off on him.
Brian, I think that's all of us. And look, I'm not even in security, buddy. And I know you are. And because I know that there is a protocol whenever he's playing golf, and I know that he plays golf often, and it's not like that he don't frequent his own golf course every day. So common sense would tell people that he's probably there on a Sunday. But there has to be a raise. I saw Ted, God, what's his name? The former New York officer on Fox this afternoon, and he was talking about how that President Trump needs to listen to his security people. And I'm going to tell you something, man. At this point, if I'm President Trump, I'm finding somebody that I can listen to, because if they are not able to protect him from even just playing golf, where are we gonna be next time he goes out on these public campaigns, man? It's dangerous, and he can't stop campaigning. That's what I think a lot of this is about. I think a lot of this is to scare him into oblivion, which they're not going to do. He's not going to stop going into public. But this was not a public event, brother. This was a private golf course this afternoon. And Brian, you know this, man. You've done security. You got to be safe in your home, do you not?
What was the last part you said?
I said it would be suffice it to say it'd be good to be feeling safe at your own golf course, right?
Yes, we know. Oh my gosh, we know how much people hate him. Love him or hate him. He's the most talked about person other than Jesus Christ right now, right?
It's about the truth.
But here's what I was going to say. As everything ramps up, we know everything's gonna be about the guns coming up. For the next couple months, everything. If you notice, the school shootings, all these shootings, everything's about the guns. They want to take away our guns. We know all that, right?
Right.
So everything has to do with shooting. But as far as protecting Trump goes, I know it's Secret Service, but here's the thing, though, too, Chris, that a lot of people don't know. They're the agencies that we work for, and work with. They're a secondary to, Secret Service, to Trump's detail.
Right.
So there's things that we're actually, my wife and I are connected with teams that do that. So we're like super close, like. Yeah, when you were saying you're close to him, yeah, we are. And we're down, close to West Palm Beach and down to his, Mar-a-Lago and all that stuff. But as far as security goes, especially right now, it's probably one of the most dangerous situations and jobs you can possibly do, the police being number one.
Yeah.
Obviously.
They said that I'm watching some of the news feeds coming in. The shooting he had two backpacks, Eric. What does that tell you? That if he had two backpacks, he was serious. This was not I've heard the term lone wolf by the news media. Eric said it possibly, at Karen before you, he said it could be a lone wolf. But when they have two backpacks, that's sort of somebody that is serious. And I was looking at Breitbart, and we put both stories up on our Telegram room. Just yesterday, a top Democrat said that the MAGA people were a complete threat to every threat of democracy in America, had to be removed. Kamala Harris was repeating this last week. Does this not stoke the fires toward these crazies out there with guns? Whoever this kid was or person was, man, I don't know if it's a man or a kid, they were serious, brother. They were there to kill him. They wasn't there to play golf with him.
Right, and what I've also, the other intel is that apparently the drone, they got the Trump in a fast cart and got him out of there, and they protected him right away in the shots, and they returned fire and all that. They got him out of there, but apparently the drone picked up this guy was in a vehicle, or he had somebody pick him up in a vehicle. Right,
that's correct. The drone saw the guy. If it wouldn't have been for the drone, but it makes you wonder why he evidently had confidence that he could shoot where he was at and reach wherever Trump was at. My bigger question to you is his schedule. Who knows where he's going to be? Would that schedule be known to the public? Do you think this guy was monitoring him, following him? Because, again, this is not some public event that was announced. This was a private meet. This is a private golf event today. He was just playing golf, Brian, I'm sorry. But he was just playing golf. And when you're guarding somebody, okay, what do you... Do they give you their personal schedule as well as their professional schedule, or is that something you have to ask, or how does all that work with security people? I'm curious.
Well, for your detail, like who advances the locations and things like that. So in advance, basically, when you're running a security, you have a person that does advance, goes to the event beforehand, just maybe an hour before, maybe even shorter than that. Maybe they even stay on location and wait for the other team to arrive before the principal comes, which the principal being, Trump, to that event, and make sure everything is safe. There's outside security that covers the perimeter, reach, for things like that, what just happened. There's an inside perimeter, then there's close protection, that are next to them. But as far as the scheduling goes, I mean, here's the thing: him being such a public guy, it's super dangerous. It's going to be, how many crazy people are out there that want to, take him out.
Yeah. If you were his detail, if you had control of his detail, how do you better secure these locations, Eric? I keep calling you Eric. I'm sorry. We had Eric on before you, Brian. I'm sorry, buddy. What would you do? What would you do if you were his personal detail? How to stop this from happening? Because I don't think this is the last time. I don't think this is the last rodeo, buddy. I think we've had two. This is 2 in 2 months. And even the U.S. government, the official coming out of White House statement right now, they're saying it's not a random guy with an AK-47. It makes you wonder what they know about this. But what is your thoughts on the security itself? And I'll let you go after this. And we're going to get you on for a longer interview soon. But I'm so grateful you came on today. But listen, what is your thoughts about how he did get to that place? Is this a breakdown with the Secret Service or local law enforcement, or is it just the fact that the people are taking for granted that there are not crazies out there? I don't know. I don't know how to ask that.
There's a two-part to this, Chris, and I'm just going to be completely honest with you. There's trained killers, there's trained assassins that do this for a living, that take people out.
Right.
And then there's a counter, assault team, the good guys or whoever you're protecting. I'm going to tell you what, the guys I work with, this would never happen. Never, ever. Because we would have everything locked down. We would be on it. And then, honestly, to be honest with you, someone like even my wife, she's a secret weapon. She can see things coming before they even happen. So I would tighten up some things big time, but I would also double up my security force. Not just the Secret Service. We'd be working the outside perimeter with anything. Obviously, they're going to take care of the inside. But with none of this would ever happen. Nobody would be within a half a mile from. I have everything covered.
Tend to agree with that, Brody. Do you think they increase the security after this? Do you think this finally wakes them up to the fact that maybe, hey, there's some crazies out there that want to kill President Trump, and they fix this crap? Because it's frustrating. I tell you what, Brian, to me, I'm grateful the president's safe. I'm grateful the Lord protected him. This could have been worse again. This is number 2. But I am mad as HELL that he got somebody with a high-powered AK-47 got that close to him. Whether he was a candidate or not is irrelevant. But a candidate for president, man, Brian, this stuff is going on like third world country crap that they're trying to kill off their political enemies. And I don't care. This is not how we are in America. This is the freaking United States of America, not the Soviet banking union.
Yeah, well, it's got to. I mean, not to change the subject, but you got to see here's the thing. They're not trying to. There are people trying to kill the other side. So that's got to speak volumes right there.
Exactly.
Why do they want this guy away?
Exactly.
Taken out so bad? Because he's the only one. Standing between, this whole place going to hell in a handbasket, and the only one that's able to really do anything about it, getting in the second, for the second time, which he obviously was the president the second time, but it got stolen from him,
right.
That, and all that. But, man, it's just, it's very upsetting. My wife and I are super upset. But that's what that's what we do. We're all about it. We protect families. That's what God has. He's actually moved our location recently, and we're getting ready to set up shop in another city over and just go full force. Whatever God wants us to do.
Yeah,
we're ready to. If Trump's, if I had a detail, call me. I'd be out there in a second.
I know you would. Well, they might be calling you, man. They might need you. And listen, I appreciate you coming on. We're going to get you and Gina on soon. We've been so busy and backed up a little bit. But we love you both, and we thank you for being our friend, and we want to thank you for coming on Sunday and giving you insight to this. I'm watching the news, and this is the media for you. You know what they're putting up? Trump's golf course was surrounded by shrubs. So I'm already beginning to see that they're going to try to give cover to the fact, well, there was a lot of shrubs around the thing, so there's no way they could have detected this guy. Brian, what do you say to something like that?
No, they have technology now, Chris, where they can pick up weapons. They can pick up with guns and ammo from a long ways away. So I'm not sure what the breakdown is on that and why.
Yeah.
Why they don't detect that, but let's just put it this way: they have the capabilities of finding those things, and there should be somebody, and that should be their only job.
I'm with you, buddy.
He's playing. But if you ever need anything, please call. Anytime.
Big hugs, brother. Hey, we do. We're going to get you back on soon, okay? I appreciate you.
Awesome, brother.
God bless you, Brian. Give Gina my best. Love you guys. Bye-bye now. Brian Warren, everybody. That's Mr. Unbreakable right there. They're good friends, dear friends of the show. One more guy, and you know this guy right here. Let me get James on. He wants to come on and talk a little bit about this, and then we're going to take your comments. And we're grateful that you're here on a live McFile breaking news special on a Sunday. James, you're on live, my friend. Good to have you this afternoon. Sorry to get you out of your chair, your easy chair on Sunday. Good to see you, buddy. How are you, man?
Fine. How are you doing, Chris?
Well, it's solemn day, another solemn day. We've had another, of course, attempt on the president's life. He's praising the Secret Service for acting quickly today. I want to get your thoughts on it. We won't keep you long, but about 5-10 minutes. What's your thoughts on the second attempt in as many months on the president's life? And the Secret Service, you know, President Trump is praising him, and I'm grateful nothing happened. But, James, we had another incident where a guy with an AK-47 got on the golf course today and almost killed the former president.
Yeah, I don't know how close he got, but obviously this is just crazy season for everyone. We are reaping the reward for a society that where the individuals in that society bear no responsibility for any consequences of anything, no matter how wrong it is. And so we've had 2 attempts on a presidential candidate. I noticed that the other side came out with there's no room for violence, and that is what they should have done. The FBI is investigating it as an assassination attempt. That's what they should have done. The Secret Service, I think, apprehended outside of Mar-a-Lago. He was driving an SUV, and they apprehended the person they think's the most likely suspect. And so it's just a sign of the times in which we live. Lawlessness is bearing the fruit of social unrest and chaos. And
yes, it is, buddy. Yes, it is. I feel that. I do, buddy. I feel that strongly, what you just said. I feel the Holy Spirit literally on what you just said, because we are in a lawless time, James. I do want to ask you, you mentioned the other side. Just yesterday, one of the top Democrat officials in Congress comes out, says the MAGA movement is the biggest threat to democracy since Hitler. Just all this rhetoric. Even last week, Kamala Harris doubled down, saying Trump again. They keep repeating this thing over and over. Trump's a threat, Trump's a threat, Trump's a threat, Trump's a threat. James, at some point, they've got to take responsibility for what they're saying, because nobody's saying Kamala Harris is a threat to democracy. President Trump is pointing out her policy issues, and I think that most people with a brain are not calling for anything bad to happen to her. I'm not calling. Nobody's ever said nothing on this network. I wouldn't allow anybody on this network to call for that, because we are a free country. We're a republic. We, the people, choose our leaders. But this other side, I don't give them a pass on this. I'm not blaming them for this nutcase, because you can't handle it. You know, ultimately these nutcases are going to get through no matter what is being said or not. But the rhetoric on the other side, James, is not helping. It is not helping.
No, it's, you know, anytime you have the political rhetoric as hot as it is right now. But you know, Chris, and I get your point. I'm wholeheartedly 100% in support of what you say. But at the same time, I'm not sure Kamala Harris is exactly feeling really comfortable about all of this. Because lawlessness, you know, that spirit of lawlessness is dangerous once it's unleashed. And it looks like it's happening in this country. So far, you know, for conservatives at least, and certainly conservative Christians, in terms of all these crazies demonstrating in the streets and on college and university campuses in support of pure thugs and killers.
Yes.
There is something really disturbing going on in this society these days. I'm
with you, buddy. No, I'm totally with you. I was on with Eric Caron before you. Eric's a federal agent, former federal agent, and he's had a lot of interaction with Iran over the years. And I'll ask you the question as we wrap this up this afternoon. The question I asked him, and I want to thank him, Brian Warren, and you for coming on a Sunday. It's always tough when on these weekends like this, and the world unfortunately don't care what day it is when it goes crazy. But if it is found, James, that Iran was behind this, because there's rumors that they were behind the first one. There's nothing been proven. And we could be dealing with a situation where you have a foreign government trying to literally assassinate, kill a presidential candidate. Is that not an act of war to you?
Well, for one thing, to prove it would be very, very difficult. To pick it up in, you know, snippets of it in intel channels or otherwise is one thing. But if it is verified and proved, then yeah, you have that heightens the danger level of it for sure. But you just have to be careful, because
I know.
You know, our country itself is not absolutely innocent when it comes to either supporting or turning a blind eye to an assassination of a foreign leader. So,
well, let me ask you a question. Let me change the question. Had this been done to Kamala Harris or Joe Biden, do you not believe that the full power of the U.S. government would be on scene today, trying to figure out what did this and who did this? I know that a lot of people are giving DeSantis grief for calling in the FBI. FBI needs to be involved in this. Federal government needs to be involved in this. Do they not? I mean, Ron DeSantis did exactly what he should have done.
Right. I mean, you know, from a distance and just getting the news snippets, you know, as I am.
Me too. Right.
It looks like everybody acted within the system appropriately. I mean, they got a wake-up, a real shake-up with just the disgusting way they handled the first attempt. And so everybody's sort of on their best behavior when it comes to government organizations handling these things. Would the level of it have been different had there been they'd have trouble finding him on the beach, I guess. But if it had been, you know, an attempt on Biden's life, you know, and it was clearly sanctioned by a foreign government, they'd be going crazy.
Oh my God, it'd be
absolutely.
It'd be wall-to-wall coverage. From my knowledge, Fox News is the only one that I've seen that's carrying it live. Some lady came on a while ago, and maybe Janet said that she actually came on our network and said, "Is this real?" Because we're never on Sundays on the news side. It's always faith on Sunday. And yeah, it is real. And Fox has got coverage on it. I'm not sure about CNN, MSNBC, and the other networks. I don't even check them. But I know the football games didn't break into the football games when this happened. But I do know they would have had it been on Harris or Biden. James, and that should tell everybody a lot of things that they look. I'm just going to go ahead and say the elephant in the room. I think there is a part of this country, and it's sad, and it sort of goes to what you're talking about, the moral decline of our country. There is a part of this country that is rooting for this to happen, for Trump. And it's sad, it's demonic, it's damnable, but it is the reality we're in a lawless society without God. And unfortunately, I think that this is not the last rodeo, and I don't think this will be the last special that we're going to be having to break in and talk about things. And, again, I'm with you. I'm sort of getting the snippets off Breitbart and Gateway Pundit. He was on the 5th hole of the golf course, and he is safe. And his statement basically says he's safe, I'm fine. No further details at this time. So I guess his people are investigating it. And, buddy, listen, it's Sunday. I'm going to let you go. I will see you this coming week on one of our shows. We'll talk about this more, I'm sure. You stay safe, my friend, okay?
I will, and call me on the side so we can set up the logistics of this thing later this week.
We sure will do. I'm going to do that Monday. I sure will, my friend. God bless, friend.
Okay, sounds good. God bless you, and I am at the bottom line. All of this is, we are really thankful that Trump is safe.
Amen. That's the bottom line. Look, that's the bottom line today. And I am definitely proud of the fact that this is, again, as an attempted, not a successful. The other one was a lot more, probably more dangerous than even this one, but it's still dangerous, the fact to know that somebody even got that close to him, James, on a golf course. This was not a public event. I guess what disturbs me today. This was him playing golf, and they've just named the suspect Wesley Routh, Ryan Wesley Routh, R-O-U-T-H, Ruth. Ryan Wesley Ruth, I'm sure they'll be doing an orifice check on him all day today and tomorrow, but we'll talk more about that. But listen, man, have a great day. We'll get back with you first of the week, and we'll talk soon, okay?
Okay, God bless.
You too, James.
Thank you.
James Akers, everybody. As we asked you to do, put some fire in that house. We're grateful for my dear buddy. Thank you for James. Thank you for Brian Warren, Mr. Unbreakable. And thank you for James Akers this afternoon. I'm going to read a couple of the comments that I saw come in. So forth. Mimi, your comment is, I think, spot on. Jake Franchise, good to see you. I thought about you. I wasn't sure if you were available. I'm going to get Jake Franchise on here one of these days and talk about this security stuff. Mimi says, President Trump needs to vet and hire his personal security team. I believe Secret Service is lacking in many areas of dedication and competence. Mimi, they probably have been, and they are, And again, I hate the Monday morning quarterback. I don't know the full details, but it's evident there were many failures in Butler. I guess the only silver lining in this situation is these shots. The media is just saying they were fired in his vicinity. Now, I don't know what that means. I don't know if that was close, how close that is. The vicinity could be, 100 yards, 200 yards. You heard Brian say that these weapons, they have a 50 to 100, 200 yard range. Eric confirmed that as well. So this was not some kid out on a stroll and just, hey, I'm going to go shoot President Trump today. He had 2 backpacks with him, and I don't doubt there was weapons in those backpacks and other ammo. We'll just have to wait and see. Again, this is all speculation at this point, and so forth. Anyway, and so forth, and all. And just folks, please keep your comments on the topic. I'm not wanting to get into political weeds this afternoon. There's a political situation I know that's part of this, but I'm talking about his protection today. Cleo says the shrubs is the new slanted roof, and that's exactly right. They're going to use the shrubs. They already are. The media, Fox News even, is talking about that was his golf course was surrounded by several deep shrubs and almost, giving cover to why, they couldn't see it. But Brian pointed out, rightly so, that these drones can detect this stuff. They have technology, folks. We're not in the dark ages when it comes to protecting presidents and protecting the former president. We are in the 21st century. And anyway, but God does have his protection over this man. That's 2 times that this has been tried, and we continue to need to pray. I'll agree with that, Mimi, as well. And Elaine, I'll agree that President Trump needs to get in his prayer closet, but I think we all do as well. There's a need for all of us to do that. Also, Corey says there was concrete in the backpacks in case of return fire, and that lets me know that this guy probably had a death wish, and he was probably going to do what the other guy did in Butler. It was a suicide mission, possibly. Again, and I want to just say this afternoon, folks. There's a lot of things that we do not know, and we don't traffic in things we don't know. We are strictly reporting what we've got, and when we get more details, we will bring it out. Now, we're going to be on the air tomorrow night, Monday. We've got Lori Mills coming late, and at 11, and we'll have a new show at 8. We'll be picking this up. We may have a guest at 8 o'clock tomorrow night, 8:30. If you're just joining us, this has been a very special McFiles Sunday afternoon news special. We've been on Faith this morning. We're going to be back on the Faith Network here in about 30 minutes. We're going to be about 15 minutes late tonight on our Sunday evening Bible study. We'll start around 6:15. Be condensed. We've got a short teaching we're going to do tonight and so forth. But we want to thank everybody for being with us this afternoon. If you got a few more statements, we're going to stay about another 10 minutes or so. If you got a statement or two, feel free to put it in the chat room. And I think, as Elaine says, we all need to be getting in our prayer closet. That's for sure. Roger says our Justice Department showed very little give a care after the first attempt, and I'll agree with that, Roger. Roger, that is one thing I will totally agree with. There has been very little concern and very little done to clean house after the first one, and I'm just watching the reaction. The only official statement that has come out of the U.S. government this afternoon has been that it was not a random guy with an AK-47. And what that means, I don't know. So I'm with you, Roger. That's probably that's very, very true. And your question, who benefits if Trump is killed? Well, we know a party benefits from that. The country won't, but a party will. A party will. And so forth. All righty. It looks like that's about all we got. There's a few other questions and a lot of prayers going up for them this afternoon, and we're grateful. And Treadlin, you're welcome. We're grateful to be on this afternoon. We couldn't have. I was not going to on a Sunday, but I felt like we needed to with this kind of news story. Luciana, your statement about them winning and they're desperate and panicking, I tend to agree with that a little bit. I don't think the left's panicking. I think the left is dangerous. There's a difference. I know we tend to believe on the right that the left is a bunch of bumbling fools and bumbling this and bumbling that. They're not. They are very organized right now. They're very dangerous. They have got unity in their ranks. The right don't. And it's sad to watch this going on. They're not desperate. They're just evil. They're just evil. And lawlessness abounds in this nation, and it's very, very troubling to see it. And I don't think this is the last. I don't think this is the last deal. This is the last deal. Cleo said the question of the day. She says, "Did the left tone down their rhetoric after the last attempt? Yet they continue to victim blame." That's exactly right. They didn't tone it down. They amped it up. And Peggy, you're right. We don't have the full discourse of the first attempt. We don't. And Tony says Ron DeSantis is calling for the Biden administration for accountability. Good luck on that. They're not going to have accountability, at least not right now. But at some point, my dad used to have an old saying, it all comes out in the wash. And I think that all of these things are going to come out in the wash eventually. It may take some time, but things will come out in the wash eventually. It will come out in the wash eventually. Janet says the world is watching the evil going on here, and that's exactly right. That's exactly right. The world is watching and praying for Trump and the family. Julia Carter, good to see you today, dear. We prayed for you this morning, praying for Trump and his family and this nation today. Jeannie says, and like the first, I would not expect any meaningful investigation. Jeannie, I wouldn't either. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. And Brian Wesley Ruth is the suspect. We'll be letting you have details on him tomorrow. Listen, folks, we appreciate you being with us on this special McFiles Sunday afternoon. We're at 48 minutes. We're going to say goodbye. We'll be back in about 15 minutes. In about 15 minutes, we invite you to come and join us on our Faith Network. We've got a great study. We've got a great study on the Holy Spirit tonight, speaking of the names of the Spirit. So we encourage you to jump on over there. We'll be back on Facebook, our X Network, and also the Faith Network tonight for our Sunday night Bible study. We appreciate nearly 250, almost 300 people, looks like almost, was with us live this afternoon. We'll keep you posted, folks, if something happens like this. We'll break in like we did today. May the Lord bless you all. We thank you for being with us today. God bless you. God bless your families. God bless this great nation of America. Jake Franchise, good to see you out there, buddy. We appreciate you. I want to thank again Eric Herron, former federal agent, Brian Warren, a security expert, dear friend, and James Akers, my dear buddy, a former CIA operative and analysis. We appreciate James as well, and all of you being with us on a special breaking Sunday afternoon, another attempt on President Trump's life. May the Lord bless you all. I'll see you on the Faith Network here shortly, and back here tomorrow night on the McFiles News Network. Have a good afternoon, everybody.